I cannot believe I'm doing this.
Hey you guys, what's up? It's Len Ray, and I want to welcome you all to my 1000 sub special. There's really much more to answer to compared to the last sub special that I've done, and there's also the challenge as well. And you know, for those of you who don't really want to stick around for the Q&A, you all can go right to the challenge. I'll leave the time signature to go to it somewhere below. I don't know if it's going to be on the screen or in the description. I don't know. I've never done things like that before. But either way, I will leave a link to that. Or I will leave a posting to that. You guys get it. I have no time to waste. I really don't have any time to waste, seeing how I got to go to work in like less than an hour, 30 minutes. So I'm just going to get right into this. Thank you to all the people who left congratulations, just to get that quickly out of the way. And without further ado, let's start. The first set of questions comes from Zephie Sonas, a person who's been with me since forever. Like, seriously, like, you've been with me since, like, what? Since I've had, like, 200-ish subs? So, like, you have, like, the most dedication. You were there for me in my nobody times. So, you know, just thank you for your support. Anywho, the first question that Zephie Sonas asks is, what do you like to listen to? Now, in regards to music, you know, this has been a question that's been asked to me more than once from, you know, just people outside. And to put it to the better question for this is, what don't I listen to? Because I honestly listen to many different types of music. When it comes to music, I listen to various things. So I'm down for quite a good amount of music. The only ones I'm not really down for that much is like rap, at least today's generation of rap. 90s rap is totally cool. Even a little bit from 80s rap. That's cool as well. That and metal. Yeah. Again, don't have a hate against metal. It's just, it's not my taste. And it's just one of those genres that don't really stick to me. So yeah, other than that, I listen to just about almost anything. I just like music that much. Second question that he asked is, what instruments do you play? I play the piano, and I also play the guitar. The piano I've been with since I was about 7 years old, and I've basically just been teaching myself how to play. I've barely taken any lessons for piano. I've just been learning by myself and looking at tutorials on YouTube and playing in different styles. And as for the guitar, I picked that up in 2012, so about 3 years ago. Yeah, it'll be 3 years now since I've bought my first guitar and started wanting to learn how to play. So yeah, and I'm still trying to advance a little bit more on the guitar. I need to learn how to play single strings, but yeah, those are the only two instruments that I play right now. I would like to pick up a horn instrument, if anything, and who knows, maybe if I have the time and the money, I can go and learn how to play sax, because I really would love to take on the saxophone as my horn instrument, because saxophones are just effing sexy. Like, seriously. So you can do so much with the saxophone. Maybe people do realize it, and I'm just not seeing it, but yeah, saxophone is just an awesome instrument to have. So if you have a saxophone, you know, that's just pretty cool. And plus, I just love the sound of saxophones. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Gosh. Yeah, in the future, I'm hoping that'll be my third instrument. Next question he asks is, what do you like to hear in your earbuds for recreation? You know, it's honestly a toss-up between classical and jazz, and it's only because you know, when doing recreation, even though I love listening to music with, you know, vocals and stuff like that, it's nice to have mainly just instruments. It's nice to just have the music, and classical and jazz is just the music. And you know, back in college, when I needed to relax or whenever I needed to study, all I listened to was classical. Nowadays, since I'm, you know, no longer doing too much studying, it's been more so that I just listen to jazz, because jazz is just something nice to listen to and unwind to, or just, you know, chill in your own time. But yeah, those are my musics. My musics. And then let me see. The last question is, did I already ask that? No, you didn't. And I'm glad to have taken on all your questions. So thank you once again, Zephie Sonas. The next question comes from Steph Thomas. I wonder who this Steph Thomas is. You're definitely a name I haven't seen around much before, but hello, Steph Thomas. Let's see what questions you decide to leave for me. The first question she asks is, when did you realize you wanted to make music and how old were you? I have been thinking back on this, and it has been a while since I have started doing originals, and I had to think back to the days of when I first got FL Studio, because it was around that time that I also started doing original music, and it wasn't FL Studio that had me do original music. It was actually playing songs on the piano, but it was one of the very first songs that I played on piano that I decided to put into FL Studio, and I always was interested in learning how to make music, and at the time FL Studio was a way to make it. But while I was still figuring that out, I was just fiddling around on the piano doing originals, because I've been doing covers for the longest time of songs from DDR or anime since that's pretty much what I came up with back then. And I don't know, something struck it in me to make an original song, because I was just inspired by a good amount of music that I used to listen to back then. And it all was just instrumental type songs at the time, and that's all I really wanted to do, and that lasted for about 2 years. So I guess if I really had to put an age on it, I would probably say 18. Yeah, 18 was around the time I was interested in starting to make my own music. And as to doing things with vocals, that's something that came much later. Gosh, I don't even remember. I think it was 2-3 years later. But anywho, it was definitely around that period of time that I started to get more interested in making my own music, whether it be vocals or instrumental. So yeah. The next question is, do you have any other talents? Maybe secret talents? Secret talents? I don't know. I'm not really too sure about secret talents. Does this count as a secret talent? As to other talents, well, other than doing music and other than entertainment, I guess one of my other talents is baking, I guess. And it automatically I automatically think of baking because baking is just one of those things I love to do, and it's like whenever I decide to take on something new, I always test my things out on unbiased people, i.e. my coworkers and people from my community, and apparently I always get good results. And so I guess it is within my genes that I have the ability to bake. And ever since my aunt taught me how to do certain things like cakes, I've just been wanting to expand into more things, and the results have always been good, if not better. And so I take that on as a talent. One of the other questionable talents, I don't even know if this, maybe this could be a secret, but then again, if I tell you, then it wouldn't be a secret. But I don't know, and I still question this of even being a talent, but for some reason, some people totally would see it so, but I guess being a comedian, I don't understand how this is even a thing. Even back long ago when I took a career test, number 2 choice was comedian, and I'm still stumped by it as to why it's even comedian. I really don't see myself as that much of a funny person, or if I am a funny person, it's probably through dark ways. I don't know. I really don't know. Don't question me on this. Gosh darn it. But yeah, maybe being a comedian. But again, I'm just going to leave that at question marks. Other than that, I'm not really sure of what other talents I have. The next question she asks is, what's an adorable guilty pleasure of yours? Stuffed animals. I'm totally going to come out with it. And no, this has like nothing to do with ponies. This has nothing to do with, plushies that I get from the fandom. I have a collection of stuffed animals. And majority of them are dogs, and I guess it's because I really like dogs, and I've always wanted a dog, but my mom is racist against dogs. But anywho, I have more than just dogs, though. I have like a couple of pandas. I have an elephant. I have a few other little things around here. And I also have a bunny rabbit, and that one's really special to me, thanks to a particular person who did give me a congratulations here. But yeah, I love collecting my stuffed animals. Oh, and I also have an Angry Bird because Angry Birds was just a thing back then, and I had to have an Angry Bird. But they're just fun little things to have around you, and they're comfy, and they bring small little bits of joy, and depending on who gives it to you, if someone gives you something that it holds a form of significance. I don't really care what people think when they see that I have stuffed animals. It's just, I love them. And a great deal of them here, I would not sell or trade for anything because, they have value. Got any strange quirks? Other than the thing I did earlier, does twerking count as a strange quirk? No, I'm not going to twerk for you guys. Please do not spam my comments saying, Len, please twerk, Len, baby, oh my gosh, please twerk. Anywho, let me see, was that the last question? No, it was not. There's one more question that she asks is, why are you so gosh darn adorable? I am not adorable. Gosh, I'm not adorable. What are you talking about? I'm not adorable. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my gosh, shut up. Shut up, Steph. I am not adorable. Sheesh, gosh. Ugh. Adorable. What is she talking about? Thank you for the question, Steph. Love you. The next question comes from Jenna Bun. And Jenna Bun asks, what is it like to reach 1,000 subs? Reaching 1,000 subs is actually pretty nice. Here I am, a person that's been stuck at like 200-300 subs. No, mainly 200 subs for like, years. And then, thanks to this fandom and thanks to, the people I've been around, it's like, getting so much notice and attention just to get me up to this, mark. It has been really nice. And I know this doesn't compare to many other ranks in the fandom or YouTube for that matter, but the fact that I've been able to reach out to 1,000 people, even if some of those people are, subscribing to me just to troll me, it's still pretty cool. So yeah, that's mainly what I think about it. Thank you for your question, Jennifer. The next question comes from Hardio Durpo. And Hardio Durpo asks, how long have you been playing jazz music? Technically, I don't play jazz music. I would love to play jazz music. That would be pretty nice. But the thing about jazz music is that it's super difficult. It's nice. Like, if you have the groove and if you, like, really, have the feel in it, then you can totally play it. And if it's one of those crafts that you go into, studying and putting a lot of time in, then yeah, it's just something that would be wonderful to have. But, I can't play it because even though I can hear everything in my head, it's hard to put out on the piano, and I can't really make it work with the guitar. But it would be nice to play jazz music. I sing jazz though, and I've been singing jazz for about 2 years now. It was about a year ago that I was in a jazz vocal ensemble, and that was one of the best experiences ever because singing jazz, it really did teach me a lot in comparison in regards to styles of music, and jazz was in no way simple. Even for singing, jazz was in no way simple because it's like, where classical everything has an order and a place, jazz almost has no rules. So really messing with all those notes and going all over the place, it was challenging but fun at the same time. And after mastering certain parts, it was a blast. And honestly, I can't wait to take on any more jazz projects. If I had managed to get back into anything major in the real world, then that'll be nice, and I'll totally let all of you know. But yeah, to give you the short of it, I do not play jazz, but I sing jazz, and I enjoy it. And if I do learn how to play jazz one day, that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, thank you for your question, Hardio. The next question comes from Arcanum Order. And Arcanum Order asks, how you feel VAing for 2.0? You would ask that question on my video, wouldn't you? VAing for 2.0 is pretty cool. Like, I like the characters that I've been cast as. And honestly, having Lieutenant Anderson, that's been quite a fun role. Long role, but definitely a fun role. And I feel for the character, for where he stands and everything he goes through. And The fact that I can give him more life than ever, that was a pretty cool experience. Wish I could have done more for Carlos, but Carlos doesn't really have that much screen time, and he technically, oh no, spoilers, never mind, shut up. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. I don't think I've sworn so much in my life doing a role for an animation. So yeah, you really did lay it on me there, and having me say all those F-bombs and all those other crude things. But other than that, it's been cool. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, 2.0 is an animation that I'm in, and it's totally non-fandom related. And I voice 2 characters in there. I voice a Big Brother character, and I voice a lieutenant. And yeah, I've been voicing for it for about a year now. I've just been, sending in things and recording and, just playing around with characters. And it's been an interesting experience voicing for it. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. Thanks for your question. The next couple of questions comes from Point Blank Entertainment. Hello, Pilot. What's up? The first question that Point Blank Entertainment asks is, where do you see yourself with your career in 5 years? To be very honest, I really don't know. It's not that I don't know what I want to do. It's just more so that, I really don't know what life is going to throw at me. If there's something that I've learned in college and life at the same time, is that life is very unpredictable. And, anything can happen with, and through any time you live throughout your life. And that, it doesn't matter how much you plan, if life decides to have its way, then it has its way. So, as I've come out of college, I have been interested in wanting to get into the industry, and I have been trying to figure that out for the longest time. And technically I do have the answers, but it's just that it's hard, not for just getting in the industry, but it's hard because I have my own life to balance. Sort of in a tight spot right now, and now that I'm actually paying bills right now, it's a little difficult to see from where I am. But regardless of my situation and regardless of how much I'm in, one thing's not going to change, and it's that I'm always going to be entertaining people. I'm always going to be doing things for people. I'm always going to be, reaching out, because, I have talents and I want to share it with everybody. I want to, show everybody what I can do. And I want to, make sure to put a smile on people's faces. So, whether I'm in the industry 5 years from now or not, even if my only solutions are to just do things through YouTube, I'm still fine. I'm still going to be happy because, I'm still doing something for somebody out there, and I'm still entertaining, and I'm still, enjoying the things I do. And honestly, even though I'm not making big bucks and I'm not on the big screen, I'm still completing my objectives. Although I really wish that my $16,000 of debt from college would really pay off in some way. But anywho, basically, regardless of whether I'm in the industry or whether I'm still on YouTube, I'm going to entertain people. I'm going to show everybody my talents. I'm going to, give back to the people who support me. That's what I'm doing. That's basically where I am in 5 years. The second question she asks is, if you had to eat one fruit for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oranges. Oranges for sure, hands down. And I have a story for this. Basically, more than this is 2015? So yeah, about a little more over 11 years ago, I ended up going to military school when I was about 12 years old. And given that I'm so used to having junk foods in my life and all the other wonderful, delicious things I'm used to eating as a kid, going into military school, a lot of that was like stripped away. And you can already tell how miserable I was from not being able to have the delicious foods like burgers and pizza and fries and all that jazz. So, there was no telling what they were going to serve us every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so, there are times, I'm not gonna lie, there are foods that I didn't really, take a liking to. However, one of the best things about the mess hall is that, there are fruits available. And, whether I had something decent or whether I had something that was not to my greatest liking, every day, 3 times a day, so like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I would always get an orange. And that orange would be the best thing to eat every day. 3 times a day. Like, the orange was my savior. The orange is what kept me sane because, you know, the 2 fruits that I liked back then when I was a kid were oranges. Like most, were oranges and plums. But they didn't have plums. So oranges pretty much got me through the day. Oranges helped me get by. And if I really had to, like, eliminate all fruits and make an exception, orange is the only exception because oranges is what saved my life. And so I owe it to oranges for the rest of my days, you know, to constantly, you know, feed me a deliciousness, a healthy deliciousness. By the way, I totally support oranges. Apples are totally cool, but oranges are best. Sorry to all those Applejack fans. Anywho, that's pretty much my question. Thank you so much, Pilot. Now, the last user with questions is Nommy Mcnab. Hey, what's going on? And she's got a good amount of questions for me here, so I just got to get through these. How am I on time right now? I have no idea. Oh, it looks like I've reached about 22 minutes, I think. I'm probably going to clip a good amount of this now, so I have no idea. But anywho, getting back on topic. What got you into ponies and voice acting? Okay, are you asking what got me into ponies, or are you asking what got me into voice acting? Because those are 2 questions that have very huge answers to each. Or unless you're, like, combining both of them. I'm probably thinking too hard into this. So I guess I'm just going to go with the answer that I could possibly, you know, put for this. Ponies and voice acting. So basically, coming up in the fandom eons back, you know, I realized that the fandom definitely had a lot of things to do. And since the show sparked my interest for voice acting again, I really wanted to do something. But the thing is, it wasn't really that easy to, you know, voice for MLP because, as you clearly can see, it's filled with a huge, vast majority of female characters. So, you know, doing guy characters was sort of hard. And the moment there were more male characters, I, you know, took a stab at it and took an opportunity at it. And seeing how comic dubs were also a thing back then, I thought, why not try out for comic dubs? So somewhere along the way, as time kept going by, there was this animation that came out called Button Mash Adventures, and I really did like Button Mash. I loved his voice and how obnoxious it was, and I, you know, constantly, you know, mimicked his voice and made a thing of it, just doing Button Mash impressions. And the golden opportunity came when I came across a comic dub on DeviantArt of, you know, Button Mash with a milkshake. It was sort of like a redo of, you know, the scene where Button Mash is on a date with Sweetie Belle, a date, quote unquote. But then again, in the comic dub, it is actually a date. And you know, I thought, well, this is definitely the golden opportunity for me to, you know, show off my talents a little bit. And so I did it. And, you know, I didn't really think it was going to get anywhere around the time because, you know, I didn't have that many subscribers. And lo and behold, like, after like maybe like 3 weeks, all of a sudden the views for it started jumping up higher and higher. And I was just like, wait, you guys actually like this stuff? You actually like my take on this character? And you know, it just got a lot of, you know, response. It got a lot of good response and, you know, a few bad responses here and there, but mostly good responses. And with all the good responses I've gotten from it, it just, you know, pushed me more to do comic dubs. But the problem was, you know, again, there's a vast majority of females in the show, so finding a lot of guy comic dubs or cult comic dubs, my apologies, was just really difficult. So, you know, with that said, I had to, you know, seek out people to collaborate with. And it wasn't easy at first. It really wasn't. Because, you know, all the good ones were taken. All the good ones were either taken or busy. So I had to, like, constantly look around for people. And thankfully, you know, around the time I did come across certain individuals. And it was, you know, with the help of them that I was able to even do more comic dubs. And from that, I was just inspired to keep doing it. I was inspired to do more. I was inspired to try to look for more people to do more comic dubs. And, you know, that's what really got me more into the voiceover aspect of the fandom. I wish I could do animations, but again, the same problem comes up over and over. That, and I'm not really any friends with animators. And yeah, there are way more people going in for that nowadays compared to how it was like back then. And so hopefully I get lucky. I just released a couple of reels of certain male characters from the show, and I hope that gets somewhere. But anywho, it was all that basically just got me into voice acting for ponies or the fandom in general. Gosh, that was a long one to answer. Next question she asks is, why do you like to nom my face? What? How? What? What do you mean? What? I don't. What do you mean by that? What do you mean nom your? I don't. What kind of question is this? Seriously, what kind of question? Nom your face? I don't nom faces. I nom foods. I nom sweets. I nom other things, but I don't nom faces. How do you nom a face? I don't. I'm moving on to your next question because I don't know how to answer that. What do you? Oh, whatever. Anywho, next question. Will you do a VA clip with me? We need to make a small script and do an acting thing, like tell a story. Like an audiobook kind of thing. What's your next project? That's really exciting. Gee. That actually was 2 questions. Oh, well, I guess I'll just try to answer both of them. You know I'm always down to do voiceover clips. You know I'm always down for that. That's one of the things I live for on YouTube. So I don't even know why you have to ask. And, you know, I'm always ready to go. It's honestly up to you whether for anything you have to present, any ideas you'd like to throw around. But yeah, just, you know, keep talking to me and we'll work something out. As to my next project that's really exciting, actually, to be honest, I pretty much am caught up, unless I come across more female VAs in the fandom that are looking to do comic dubs. I don't really have anything else from this point. Honestly, this Q&A special plus challenge is the most exciting thing that's going to happen right now, and this is actually sort of scary because I've sort of committed to doing a 1 video a week thing. So yeah, I better find something exciting. Maybe you can help me with that. So yeah, that's really where I'm at. And then the last question she has to ask is, and what does the fox say? Gee, I don't know. What does the fox say? Through all of his yipping and a yapping and a it's really hard to tell you what the fox says. I don't speak fox. I am a human. Don't you understand that? So you know, that question is meant for only someone who speaks fox. I know of a fandom that could possibly help you with that. Would you like me to send you a link? Would you like me to send you some names? Because I'm pretty sure they'd have a better chance of telling you what the fox says, because this person can't really tell you what the fox says. So I'm sorry, but you're sort of screwed out of this one, Nommy Mcnab. I cannot tell you what the fox says, and to be very, very blatantly honest, I don't care to tell you what the fox says. So, yeah, take that. I love you so much. Thank you for asking me your questions. And with that said, that's all the questions that everyone has presented for this Q&A. From this point, we're going to get right over to the Ice Bath Challenge, but chances are I'm probably not going to give an accurate outro after doing the challenge, so I'm just going to do this now just in case I don't do it, you know, since I'm going to be in that very ice cold bath. Basically, I just really want to take the time to say thank you all to everyone who's, you know, come out to ask their questions to me, to regardless of how simple or complex they are. I really do appreciate it. And, you know, even though I don't have like swarms and swarms of questions, it's still nice that I'm able to, you know, respond with each and every one of you. And, you know, it brings me joy that you guys actually do care about my stuff. It brings me joy that you all are watching my stuff, and that you know, take time out of your schedules, whatever, you know, is going on in your lives, to, you know, inquire about some of the things that I do. You have no idea how grateful I am for it. I'm constantly going to keep working harder from this point, and I'm constantly going to just, you know, keep doing things to build and to reach out to many more people, because, you know, I want to give you guys the best. I really want to, you know, give so much to each and every one of you. I want to share my talents with all of you, and, you know, if there are people out there, you know, who are looking to collaborate, I'm willing to, you know, take that on as well. You know, if you see anything that's interesting from me, I don't know if you do or not. It's totally fine if you don't. But, you know, basically, thank you. and I really do. I'm happy, so happy. I'm so gracious for your time. I'm gracious for everybody here. Like, I could sit here and, you know, say how gracious I am to each and every individual here who's commented, but I'm pretty sure you all get it. Just, you know, keep supporting myself, keep watching this stuff, and I will always do everything I can to, you know, give back to all my subscribers and watchers and supporters. I know for sure that if I make it up to 5,000, I'm gonna have to do something even more, or just anything for that matter. My goal is to definitely, you know, support you, to show my regards and to show my love and support as much as I possibly can. Especially with where I'm at right now. It's much easier to do it now, but if I, through some magical reason, became stupid popular, I know it would get a little bit harder. So while I have each and everybody's time now, I just, you know, I really want to show my thanks. So that's really all I can put to it. Usually I would do a farewell and over and out from here, but again, the challenge is about to happen. So without further ado, let's get over to that ice bath challenge.